Hey YouTube and welcome to Silent Code Dev. So welcome to day 69. I'm currently at the airport. So I was um, like I was just considering should I record or not, but I'm just gonna do it because yeah, we gotta do this every day, right? So I'm actually traveling to another country, but I'm still gonna do JavaScript. So yeah, we're gonna continue on our series. We're gonna start doing even and odd. So I was like, should I bring my camera and microphone? You know, because I'm gonna be interrupted by people. But then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it, why not? You know. So, but that's it, guys. I'm gonna try to record as much as I can. So let's continue. So, back in Numbers chapter, we explained the remainder operator. The division remainder of a number divided by 2 is either 0 or 1. This will help you know whether the original number is even, divisible by 2, or odd, right? So a number that's odd. All right, got interrupted by that. But yeah, so an odd number is a number that's not divisible by 2, right? And an even number is a number that can be divided by 2 or divisible by 2. And here we have an example. So even numbers, you know, dividing them by 2 will always equal to 0, right? And odd numbers are numbers that can't be divided by 2 and they leave like 1. So we don't need to make a note about that. So I'm going to reset this one. And here we have get division reminder by 2. So complete the function even or odd such that it returns the string even when the number parameter it receives is even and odd otherwise. So yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so let's try. Gonna move my microphone and we're gonna do if number is divided by 2 equals 0, we want to return even, else. I don't know if we're gonna do else if. I mean, it's else, right? Because there's only 2 options. Return odd. We're gonna test it out, even or odd, and we're gonna say 3. Maybe if we have else if number 2, 1. So 2 should be even. Let's see. Oh, we have to type it in here. So yeah, because it's there are 2 options, right? So it should be working. So even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. Great. Okay, so chapter recap. Nice work. Now we're gonna learn about the ternary operator. I'm also not gonna make a note about that because I know about that one. So the ternary operator, short if conditions, can sometimes be written using the ternary operator. The ternary operator is a short way of writing an if-else statement. So let's go back to the solution of the previous challenge. So it can be written using the ternary operator as following. Yeah. So I'm quite comfortable with the ternary operator. So the ternary operator has the following syntax. Condition, right? So you have a condition. And then you have a question mark where you can get two options, right? Expression when true, expression when false. So while the ternary operator can make your code more concise, it can also make it less readable. We generally recommend you avoid it and opt for more readable code. So it's actually recommended to avoid it. Yeah. So here we have the instructor. Like I told you, I have his links in the description below. So yeah, it's great. So now we're gonna start we're gonna start working on arrays. So but yeah, I feel comfortable with conditions, you know. There's always something I can learn, but I'm comfortable with it. So I'm just gonna move on. Yeah, I have this one. Okay, so arrays in JavaScript allow you to store multiple elements in the same variable. You can store numbers, strings, booleans, arrays, objects, and more. These can be mixed within the same array. Here are some examples. So const users equal empty array, const grades, arrays of numbers, array of strings, and so how would I define an array? An array is a collection of different values, right? Because you can store different values in an array. You don't have to have the same value, like number or string. You can mix them together. And also it says here that name arrays in the plural, as they can contain more than one item. This will prove to be especially useful once we need to iterate over an array. Length property. So you can get the number of elements in an array by using the length property. For example, length 0 and grades length 1, 2, 3, 4. So note that length is a property, pre-computed value, not a function. And that's why you should not have, yeah, we know that. So get element by index. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, so we're gonna get element by index. So similarly to strings, you can get an element from an array by using this square bracket with the index starting from 0. So to access items in the array, you use this square bracket. I know that too. So again, am I gonna make notes about? I'm not gonna make notes about this because I know this. You know, I only write things that I don't really feel comfortable with, or I don't memorize. So yeah, there's some background noise, but okay. You can also use at index method, which accepts negative indices, making it easier to find the last element of an array. So here we have an example, right? Sam, Alex, -2 will be Blaine, and -1. But then we have to use users at, okay. It's kind of like string, but that also works on array. And you can add an element to the end of an array using the push method, right? So yeah. So array push 20, numbers push 20 is going to return. So this returns 5. The new length of an array is going to be stored here. Because when no console log numbers, you get this. So array push returns the new length of the array. As you can see, numbers push 20 returns 5, which is the length of an array. This is often confusing for a lot of developers, which is why we are highlighting it here. Push will add an item to the array, but also return the new length of the array. So it's going to return the new length of the array. Okay. Maybe I should. I don't know. I feel like I should not. I don't know. We'll see. So arrays and const. So even though the variable numbers was defined with const, we were able to push new data into it. That's because const means you can only assign the variable once when it's defined, but it doesn't mean the variable is immutable. Its content can change, right? So that's what I understand as well, is that you can assign const to an object and an array, right? But you can change, so you can't change the object or the array, but you can change the values or elements inside the array or object. So what's the benefit of declaring it as a const, you ask? The benefit is that once you define it as an array, it will always stay as an array, which means you can safely call array methods on it. However, the array content can change. So yeah, I work with arrays, so we're gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna restart this challenge. So complete the function get empty array such that it returns an empty array. So we're gonna try that. Return so that should be right? Returns an empty array. Okay. Restart. Number of elements. Complete the function get number of elements such that it returns the number of items contained in the elements array it receives. So that's also simple, because we know that to get the amount of the number of items inside an array, we have to use elements length. Okay, so here add calculator to apps. So complete the function use calculator such that it adds the calculator string to the apps array it receives, then return the apps array. So there's a small trick in this challenge to make sure you understand an important concept. Spend some time trying to figure it out, then check the hints if you get stuck. Okay, so let's try to understand this. Adds the calculator string to the apps array it receives. Okay, so this is what we have right now, and it wants us to add calculator. So what we're gonna do is we're going to we have to do apps push calculator, because if we use return on this, it's gonna return 5, right? I think so. And then we want to return apps. Yeah, because if I do, that's what we learned, right? Because if you try to return this, it's gonna return 5, or the number amount here, right? Because it's gonna give you the updated. So that's kind of tricky. But if we do this, should be good. All right. Okay, so use any app. So complete the function such that and by the way, if you're new to my videos, I don't look at the solution. I've done this before. I just restart the challenge to do it myself. So complete the function such that the app variable is added to the apps array, then return the apps array. So okay, so the app variable is added to apps array, so we have to do return apps app push app. Now we have to push it first, then we are returning apps. I didn't get this. Let me see. So complete the function such that the app variable is added. Oh, we are including this. Okay. Now we're getting like that. Okay, here we get complete the function get first app such that it returns the first element from the apps array it receives as a parameter. So such that it returns the first element from the apps array. So we know to return the first element in an array is to use the brackets, right? So we're gonna do return apps 0. Oh. Okay, so get last app, and here there are many ways we can do this, right? So complete the function get last app such that it returns the last element from the apps array it receives as a parameter. So we're gonna do return apps at, we can do this one, right? And we can do apps length -1. Yeah, okay. Okay guys, so that's it. I'm gonna make a video for the next day, right? It's actually gonna be the same day because I am traveling, so I won't be able to upload. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And for the consistency, right? I know that I'm not doing the best, like, advanced JavaScript, but we're learning. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye.